So I wouldn't usually make a video on this topic at the beginning of December, but this thread actually came into my timeline about a day or two ago, and from what I saw just really quickly looking at it, it looked to be a very good concept. Now, Comic-Con does usually make concepts for just future characters or just fan-made cards as well that look pretty cool, and this thread looked, again, like I said, well put together. So I asked Comic-Con if I could cover this, and did agree. So again, shout out to Comic-Con. I'll have this thread and their profile like linked in the description and the comment section. But yeah, this actual 11th anniversary talk has been going on for quite some time at this point. But keep in mind, we are less than 2 months away from the banner dropping. The anniversary banners usually come out about the 28th, 29th. And last year, they actually had a 2-week countdown to the 10th anniversary. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to do the exact same thing for the 11th anniversary, but I think it would make sense if they want to go ahead and do something like that. So for all intents and purposes, we should be seeing like teasers and things like this for the next anniversary, even in the second week of January. Like, we have the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest at the end of the month. Then we have the New Year's actual banner. And after that, I think it's kind of just a countdown to Annie. So anniversary stuff like should start being teased in about 4-5 weeks from now. So we're very, very close to that. And this concept of like a Namek Saga slash Daima anniversary has actually been extremely popular in the community. I'm sure many of you guys have seen the famous tweet I made where I basically said, if you expect Frieza for anniversary, you're losing to a dog in chess. I wonder if I could actually find this tweet specifically. Like, if you, let me see if I could actually find it. Give me 1 second here. So this is the tweet, and I could very well be wrong, but I'm just not gonna hold my breath for a Frieza to be anniversary, especially seeing what they did with Golden Frieza. Now, Frieza from the Namek Saga is definitely a character I would deem an anniversary worthy character, and I would love this to be the case, but we have to wait and see what they're gonna decide to do, because they usually just like, I guess you just say, pushing Saiyans out in a certain way. So we'll see what they do decide to actually move forward with doing. But again, let's take a look here at this thread and just talk about it. So again, a lot of people are saying this theme, I think, is again very similar across the community. Power of the Dragon Balls. So characters who are involved with the magical abilities of the numerous types of Dragon Balls are set to appear in this campaign. I think it's a nice, just like general theme. Could fit a lot of characters from all across the series. Obviously, the Dragon Balls are used very, very many times, right? So recruit 2 new characters, which could be Dokkan awakened into LR. Witness Frieza's unlimited power at the beginning of his transformation, along with Goku's special Dragon Ball collection ability. Then you can activate both characters' domains for maximum power. So here's this card art again. Comic-Con makes some pretty good looking stuff, honestly. Like, look at this, like, Goku and Frieza card art right here. It looks, both of them look really, really incredible. And of course they do have, I believe, their transformation states in a sense as well. I'm not sure how it's gonna look like exactly, but this looks pretty cool. And again, we all know we don't have just like a final form Frieza like represented at all, like as a Dokkan Fest. So I think I would really like final form Frieza to be the case. And then right here, so this is, I assume, like a transformation or like maybe a domain specific art. I'm not sure how this kit would work. They actually do have a kit concept as well. I would really like this as like a part 1 for the anniversary, but if I were to guess, like if it's like a Daima and a Namek Saga anniversary together, I would assume Namek would be part 2 and Daima would be part 1 just cause. But these arts, again, that looks really, really good, man. Like, these arts are kind of crazy, bro. Like, you cooked, man. 100%. So this would be their final form Frieza kind of transformation, or information just in general. So a Z bosses category is a very popular idea in the community. I won't like spend too much reading this as if it's like a real kit, but just looking here. So this kit concept has just a defense raise for the turn, greatly raise attack. And yeah, Z bosses would be a really interesting team, though. Like, at that point, you might as well just do instead of Z bosses, sworn enemies. Sworn enemies, these essentially just Z bosses plus OG Dragon Ball, like Demon King Piccolo. So like it would, I feel like there's not a point for a Z bosses category because it's again just sworn enemies, but smaller. I guess would it mean? I guess the not true actually. I guess because when you really think about it, Beerus and Resurrection F, Golden Frieza would actually be on the Z bosses team because they're part of the Dragon Ball Z movie. And I assume because Cell Max is on Super Bosses, we would get like all the Dragon Ball Z movie villains on there, such as Cooler, for example. Because again, Cell Max, actually no, it would be better. Never mind, I am a big fat liar. Because when it comes to Super Bosses, Cell Max is on Super Bosses and movie bosses. So we could assume Garlic Jr., Turles, a bunch of these other characters that would be on movie bosses only would also be on the Z bosses category. Broly would be on there as well. Hiruda Garn. Again, we already brought up Cooler as well, but like many of these kind of different characters, Andrew 13 too. So that'd actually be better. Actually, I'm a big fat liar. My bad, chat. Then I am Lord Frieza, so this is like a high dodge kind of base character, 26%, and then a high chance to dodge, so that's a 76% chance to dodge. If this character performs 6 super attacks before the 4th turn, interesting. Okay. So it's like a conditional intro animation, support, like a damage reduction plus guard, one an extreme class ally. When receiving an attack, 260% defense. That's actually insane. That'd be busted. So he does have a transformation to final form. After performing 6 attacks or when HP 60% or below. Again, I'm not gonna look too deeply into this, but this looks like a very crazy character. So when you transform, you ideally, I guess, transform at the end of fights, and then with that in mind, you'll lose attack over time, but you just have a huge attack percentage buff, right? Especially since there's this multiplicative buff too. Really interesting, honestly. Launches additional Ultra Super. Extreme Class Allies 50% support. I mean, this looks good to me. And there's a domain that gives Extreme Class Allies and Z bosses extra attack and defense. Z heroes or Super Saiyans. So this would be the carnival, which makes sense. They're making Frieza the if there's an extreme class enemy or if in the 5th turn. So he's just like a turn-based transformation. It makes sense to make Frieza the Dokkan Fest and Goku the carnival. Like Goku doesn't need to be Dokkan Fest. So this guy has the Dragon Balls. Directs enemy attacks toward this character for 1 turn. 59% attack and extra damage reduction. Cloud Dynamic destroyed Purunga. Superclass enemies and allies 20%, and then another additional 10% to Z heroes. I mean, both of that looks pretty good. Like just generally reading their kits here, I assume Goku's like a very tanky character. Guard right here, we have the 59% damage reduction. He has a Scouter, 2-turn support. Yeah, Goku seems pretty fucking cracked. That would be really nice. So part 2 of the 11th anniversary Dokkan campaign would be Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku and then Super Saiyan 3 Adult Vegeta. Again, I would say more likely that these characters would be switched out is what I assume they would do when it comes to like kind of these 2 characters specifically. Hold up, I'm actually setting a rotation up on the side here. Let me just do this right here. That's what I assume what they would do, is have these guys as part 1. There's also speculation that these guys could be New Year's as well. I think that'd be really sick, like New Year's for these guys. A lot of people would not expect it, but again, they did kind of do this for Superhero, and it doesn't really feel like Daima was planned in their schedule ahead of time, so I would not be surprised if they're just like pushing in Daima in spots that they didn't really expect it to be. So look at these arts, dude. Again, these look really sick. I guess part 1 is the Namek characters because they have transformations and domains, while these guys would just be standalone. I mean, this would be... Oh my god, look at that! Ooh, that looks sick as hell! Wait, that's peak. That's actually sick as fuck. Awesome. LRN Super Saiyan 4 Goku's Daima information. GB Seeker's Power Beyond Super Saiyan Goku family. Massive race, yeah. I assume this guy would be a slot 1 character to the Daima Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku. Yeah, 40% reduction here. Against a super attack, high chance to nullify. 400% defense when receiving an attack is actually kind of busted. Okay, and that's any super attack. His first super attack he receives, he'll guarantee counter it, which would make sense, honestly. Then he builds up damage reduction, 20% up within the turn, and then he has 20%. Like, so he has 20% permanent that he builds up to, and then 20% within the turn as well. Road breaking Kamehameha. Oh, after receiving 4 attacks, he guards. Okay. And the fact that he will guarantee counter the first super attack anyways. So by the time you receive another super attack, he's already guarding. And we'll have the 50% chance to counter. Attack 40%, all attacks become critical hits, and then attack plus 10% to 40% for the rest of the battle with each super attack performed within the turn. Okay. Then Vegeta would be the Carnival, but they actually, I just realized he's giving the Carnivals 2 leader skills. I don't think that they would change that, but this would be good. Accelerated Battle Master Evolution. 3-turn race. I wonder if this guy would be good with the existing Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, like if they would somehow make him buff him. Guards all attacks, 33% damage reduction rates, 300%. Lots of additional super attacks here. Damage reduction 33% here as well. HP condition, but it's not really the biggest deal. So he'd have guard and 66% damage reduction, huh? And depending on HP, he gets a bunch of different. So he wants to be super high in HP. Wonder if he has like a heal. Defense 30%, all attacks become a critical hit for 1 turn. So he's like the defensive version of Goku, huh? Oh yeah, there it is. Active skill, Bulma's Ultimatum. So he has 2 active skills you could choose from, I assume. You could either use the Final Flash. Oh no. After you use the Final Flash, he does this. Recovers HP, defense 600%, stuns this character, and then delays all enemy attacks for 1 turn. That's funny. Like, the defense doesn't even matter. Because he just has a Ghost Usher anyways. I guess that might just be only for 1 enemy attack. But it says all enemy attacks, so. No, I assume that's only 1 enemy, though, honestly. Because I think PyCon's description would be the exact same. So this right here seems interesting as well. So part 3 of the 11th anniversary Dokkan campaign introduces the Tamigamis. Collect 3 Dragon Realm Dragon Balls and unless 3 different domains according to the number of Dragon Realm Dragon Balls obtained. Interesting. So this character would get different buffs depending on the types of Dragon Balls you get with the Tamigami LRs. I mean, this is cool. I like how this looks like, and we see like their powered up stay here. So they're just normal to start, then they will be able to get their powered up stay with the Dragon Balls. That's really sick, and I love how this looks like right here, kind of referencing the opening of Daima. I think that looks pretty sick, honestly. And then the Tamigamis would be a Carnival LR, just a 3rd kind of bonus here. So they're just all based around the number 3. Basically, I mean, this seems pretty sick to me. Like a Tamagami's LR is like a 3rd part right here, just make them very busted. Looks like they're a slot 1 character. Oh wait, so offensively, no, defensively in slot 1, offensively in slot 2, giving the opposite support to the rotation, but they want to be a 3rd slot character. I think it looks like that 3-turn 40% support. They'll have high chance to dodge, 200% when attacking. Not bad at all. And they have 30% reduction rate, basically. If they're in slot 1, though, that's 30% reduction plus the guard. And a lot of extra defense. So it depends. So, depending on what Demon Realm Dragon Balls you obtain. So, Divergent Active Skill, is that a new mechanic you're giving them? So, how do you collect these Dragon Balls, though? Like, do you use... Like, it doesn't tell you how you... Oh, they have 3 different supers as well, actually. I didn't even realize that. So, like... You cycle through the different super attacks with them. That's really interesting. Oh, they summon one Dragon Realm Dragon Ball with each passing turn up to 3 times. So they get these effects with the different Dragon Balls. So like turn 1 they guard, their second turn they have extra damage reduction, the third turn they have a Scouter, and this continues to build up, huh? Then if you use the domain on the different turns, you get different effects, huh? All allies can nullify super attack seal, making it impossible to seal them. Okay, that seems pretty overpowered. This looks cool. And then you cycle through the different super attacks. I like that concept, honestly. So, I don't know. I just thought this would be a fun concept to take a look here. Power of the Dragon Balls. In terms of EZAs, I'm sure we'd see like Final Form Cooler, Carnival Super Saiyan Tech Goku. I assume we would see, I mean, like just like based off the leader skills, Power Beyond Super Saiyan DB Seekers Goku. I mean, with these guys, like we know that in part 3 we would also see the 8th anniversary of Lars EZA, so the GT Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku. Then the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta as well. The Super Spirit Bomb kind of moments. I don't know. Looks pretty nice. But let me know what you guys are thinking. If you would really like this as an anniversary, what EZAs you would want to see. Again, shout out to Comic-Con for this theory. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.